So, what holds our world together? I'm not talking about the giant forces spinning planets. I'm talking about something way, way smaller. It's all about these tiny, powerful partnerships happening between atoms. It's a kind of elegant agreement that literally builds everything you can see and touch. Today, we're diving deep into something called the covalent bond. All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to start with a really simple way to think about how atoms connect. Then, we'll get into the why. What's their motivation? After that, we'll define exactly what covalent bonds are, check out their different strengths, and finally, we'll see the absolutely incredible world they build all around us. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, let's kick things off with a super simple idea. Just picture atoms holding hands. Seriously, it's this basic idea of hand-holding that is the foundation for, well, every single substance in the entire known universe. No big deal, right? So that brings up a really huge question, right? I mean, if our world is built from these completely invisible little particles, how in the world do they manage to assemble themselves into something as complex and as real as a tree or a rock, or even the device you're watching this on? What's the master plan here? Well, the secret isn't really in the atoms themselves. It's all about how they connect with each other. It's all about the bonds. And if you can understand these little atomic partnerships, you've got the key to understanding, well, pretty much everything. Okay, so why do atoms even bother connecting in the first place? What's their motivation? What's driving them? It actually turns out to be this universal goal that I think we can all relate to. They're just looking for stability. You know, it's kind of funny, but atoms are a lot like people. Just think of an unstable, high-energy atom as that one friend who's had way too much coffee. You know, they're restless, jittery, ready to react with absolutely anything. All that atom wants is to just chill out and find a calm, stable, low-energy state. So how does an atom achieve that sweet, sweet stability? Well, for the most part, they follow a guideline called the octet rule. Basically, this rule says that for most atoms, ultimate zen, total calm, comes from having a full outer layer or shell of electrons. And you got to pay attention to this outermost shell because that is where all the action happens. It's their social circle where they make all their connections. And for that outer shell to be considered full, it usually needs to hold a magic number of electrons. And that number is 8. Just burn that number into your brain. 8, that's the goal. Getting to 8 is what makes an atom feel complete and stops it from reacting with everything in sight. Now look, it's more of a rule of thumb. There are definitely some important exceptions, but it is the major driving force behind almost all chemical bonding. So what's an atom to do if it doesn't have those 8 electrons? Well, it could try to steal them from another atom, or maybe just give its own away. Or it could do something much more collaborative. It could form a partnership. And this is the beautiful, simple idea right at the heart of a covalent bond. Instead of a fight, it's pure cooperation. 2 atoms come together and they agree to share some of their outermost electrons. The result? Each one now feels like it has a complete set of 8. Everybody wins. And the process itself is just wonderfully simple. Here's how it works. You've got 2 unstable atoms, and they start to approach each other. Their outer electron shells begin to overlap. Then they each pitch in 1 electron to form a shared pair, and boom, a stable connection is formed. Now, both of those atoms are way more stable together than they ever were on their own. And that, right there, is what a covalent bond is. It's a shared pair of electrons holding 2 atoms together. It's not glue, it's not tape, it's a mutual agreement where everybody benefits, creating a brand new, stable molecule. But it's not quite that simple. Not all of these partnerships are created equal. You know how a handshake can be kind of brief or it can be super firm? Well, covalent bonds are like that. They come in different strengths, and it all depends on how many electrons the atoms decide to share. So, we've got 3 main types you need to know about: single, double, and triple bonds. And honestly, it's a really straightforward numbers game. They share 1 pair of electrons, 2 pairs, or 3 pairs. And the rule is simple. The more pairs they share, the stronger and shorter that bond becomes. All right, first up, the single bond. A perfect example of this is a hydrogen molecule. See, each hydrogen atom has just 1 electron, but it's happy with 2 to get a full shell. And yep, that's one of those exceptions to the octet rule we talked about. So what do? They each share their 1 and only electron, and that forms 1 shared pair. This is like the most basic, fundamental handshake in all of chemistry. Okay, next, let's level up to the double bond. The oxygen you're breathing right now, that molecule is held together by one of these. Here, two oxygen atoms don't just share one pair of electrons, they share two pairs, and that creates a much stronger, much tighter connection than just a single bond. And finally, we get to the powerhouse, the triple bond. Nitrogen gas, which makes up about 78% of the air around you, is made of two nitrogen atoms locked together by sharing three pairs of electrons. This bond is incredibly strong. I mean, it is super, super difficult to break.
Okay, so we've covered the why and the how. But what's the end result of all this atomic hand-holding? What does all of this actually build? The answer is pretty much everything.
Yeah, these simple rules about sharing electrons, they're basically the architectural blueprints for all of matter. Every single molecule, I don't care if it's the simplest gas or the most complex protein in your body, is built using these fundamental principles. Think about it. The water you drink, H2O, covalent bonds. The carbon dioxide you exhale, covalent bonds. The oxygen you're breathing. Even the insanely complex organic molecules like your DNA that make you, well, you, it's all covalent bonds. And get this, the way these bonds are arranged can change everything. Take pure carbon. Arrange the covalent bonds one way, you get soft, flaky graphite, like in a pencil. Arrange those exact same atoms in a different structure, you get a diamond, one of the hardest things on Earth. Same atoms, different bonds. So, from the water you drink to the very air you breathe, these covalent bonds aren't just some abstract concept from a chemistry textbook. No way. They are the fundamental glue holding life in our entire world together. They are, quite literally, the reason our physical reality can even exist. And that leaves us with one last, really interesting question. We've just seen the incredible power of cooperation, of sharing electrons. But what happens when one atom is way stronger, more aggressive, and decides, you know what, I'm not sharing, I'm just going to steal those electrons for myself? Well, that creates a whole different kind of bond, and that's a story for another time.